Hello everyone, I'm Frank, and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's easy level puzzle. Now, take that easiness with a grain of salt, because it's considered easy by the people on the Logic Masters Germany forum, and there's a lot of really smart people there. Today's puzzle is called Might Even Ring a Bell by physicist from Funen. And here are the rules. Normal Sudoku rules apply, which means fill the entire grid with digits from 1 through 9 without repeats in any row, column, or box. We have turquoise and or orange thermometers. So turquoise thermometers restrict only even digits, and orange thermometers restrict only odd digits. That is, on a turquoise thermometer, the even digits strictly increase from the bulb end, and likewise for odd digits on an orange thermometer. Digits of the unrestricted parity, and parity is even basically just the even or oddness of the digit, can go anywhere and in any order on a thermometer. Thermometers are strictly dominated by digits. Okay, so for example, if you had an so for turquoise digits, they restrict the even digits. So if you had an even digit, you had okay. Sorry, let's continue with the rules because that makes things clear. Thermometers are strictly dominated by digits of the restricted parity. For example, a 6-cell orange thermometer, we don't have an example of that, must have at least 4 odd digits, but we do have 4 length thermometers. So it must be strictly dominated by the digit of the restricted parity. So for an orange thermometer, if you have 4 in length orange thermometer, at least 3 of them have to be odd because it has to be strictly dominated. If you have 2 and 2, they're not dominated, right? It has to be essentially above 50%. It's not the 50% essentially rounds up to that amount. It's basically you have to have above 50% essentially on the thermometer that of the restricted parity. So for orange thermometers, you must have must have greater than 50% of the cells be odd. And on the turquoise thermometers, greater than 50% of the digits on that must be even. And so how about an example? So for an example, on a turquoise thermometer, you have to have, say we used this one. That means 3 of them at least have to be even because turquoise restricts only even digits. And if you have an odd digit, it can be anywhere, but the even digits must be strictly increasing from the bulb to the tip. So you could have something like, I don't know, 2, oops, that's a color. 2, 4, 8, and 1. And that would work because the even digits are strictly increasing. So from the bulb to the tip, you have 2, 4, and 8. And you have at least, you have greater than 50% of the digits are even, or the restricted parity. Or you could be something like, you could have 9, 2, 4, and 6, or something like that. And that works because, again, the even digits are strictly increasing from the bulb to the tip. And again, you still have greater than 50% of the digits on the thermometer are even. And that's for turquoise thermometers. If for orange thermometers, you would have to have the odd digits be strictly increasing from the bulb to the tip, and you must have greater than 50% be odd digits. Anyways, those are all the rules. If you like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay, so on... Let's see, where do we start? On the 2 turquoise thermometers, you have to have two even digits, right? Because it has to be greater than 50% of the digits are the restricted parity. So if you had 1 and 1, you don't have greater than 50%. So these must be even. And that means we have 4 evens in row 1, which means the rest of the row is all odd. So these are odd. This is a turquoise thermometer. Therefore, the rest of the thermometer, greater than 50%, has to be even. We have 1 odd, so the rest have to be even. So these two are even. This thermometer, at least 2 of them have to be odd, and we have 1 even, 1 odd. Therefore, this must be odd. Let's see. These 2 digits must be odd because there's 2 digits on the thermometer. These 2 digits must be even because there's 2 digits on this thermometer. Hmm. We have 9 digits on these thermometers each, so 5 of them at least must be odd. Hmm. 3 out of these 4 digits must be even, but we don't know which. At least 3 of these 4, sorry, at least 3 of these 4 must be even. At least 3 of these 4 must be odd. At least 2 out of these 3 must be odd. We have 3 odds in row 2. Hmm. Oh. We know. So these have to be 2, 4, or 6, and this is 4, 6, or 8. This is 2, 4, 6, and this is 4, 6, and 8. This is 2, 4, 6, and this is 4, 6, 8. We know 2 out of 3 digits here are even, right? Because we have 4 odd remaining in box 2, and therefore only one of these could be odd. So 2 of these must be even, at least. Therefore, out of these remaining 6 cells, we must have at least 4 odd digits. Right? Because it has to have at least greater than 50% of the digits be odd. Hmm. Does that tell us very much? Not particularly. This must be 3 out of 4, at least. This must be 2 out of 3 odds. Whatever color this is, so whatever odd or even parity this is, it's either the same as this, so say this was red, right? Same match the orange. Then this would have to be all even, if that's the case. Because this would be odd. And then 3 out of 4, 2 out of 3 of the rest of these would be odd. If this were even, though, the rest of these would have to be odd. What does that mean as a question? Uh, these can't be odd. If both of these are odd, the problem is it's the smallest of the odd digits, and we know there's at least 5 odd digits. Actually, there has to be specifically 5 odd digits in each of these. Because we know that because you have one, it's strictly increasing for the odd digits, and they're 9 in length, and it must be the greater than it must be the majority, which is greater than 50%, strict majority. So this would have to be essentially the lowest and highest odd digit if it's an odd digit. Therefore, it cannot be an odd digit. This is an even digit. This is an even digit. We have 2 out of 3 these are even digits. So there's only one odd digit here, which means to be strictly majority odd digits, it has to have 4 odd digits here. This one we don't know. This one we can delete. This is specifically 2 out of 3 of these digits are even. So since 2 of 3 of these are even, one of these at least has to be even. Actually, the rest of column 7 must be even because we have 5 odds already in that column. One of these two must be even, guaranteed, because we have 4 odds and 3 evens in box 3. Therefore, the rest of row 3 must be odd, because one of these must be even, and one and only one of these is even. So that means since this is a 4 length thermometer, since it must be strictly majority even, these two must be even then. We have an odd and even here. These two are odd. These two are even. We have to have 5 odds here, but we don't know what order these are. These cannot be 3 odd digits because then you would have 6 odd digits in box 6, which is not allowed because we only have one. We have 5 max. So one of these is even and the rest are odd, which forces this to be even. This must be one even and 2 odds in the rest of row 2 here, but we're not sure which. One of these digits is a 2 or 4 and it's even, but we're not sure which. Okay, this has to be, okay, so we know this is 1, we know this is 3, this is 5, this is 7, because it has to be strictly increasing for the odd digits. Therefore, the 9 must be one of these 3. This must be 7 or 9 here. This can never be 9, though. This must be a 9 here. 7 can be any of these 3. Therefore, this is a 9 here. 9 is here. We know 9 has to be one of these 3 also. Because this is at maximum 4 odd digits here, which would force the 9 to be here. Therefore, 9 can't be here. 9 is one of those 2. We have 1, 3, and 5 here. But it must be increasing from here to here. So this can't be 5 and this can't be 1. The rest of this, 1, 3, 5, and 7, but this has to be strictly increasing for the odd digits here, so this can't be 7, this can't be 1. Therefore, we know 1 has to be one of these 3 digits. Therefore, this is 3, 5, and 7. One must be one of these 3 digits, right? Because if it's, and which it cannot be this one. So one of these 2 is a 1. Because we know one of these is 1, 1 cannot be here. So where is 3? 3 can be here, but 3 cannot be here or here. If this is 3, that would force this to be 1 on this thermometer, but 1 cannot be on this thermometer. So if there's a odd digit, this is 3 as a low. This can never be 9. So this can't be 4 odd digits here, because then it would be 3, 5, 7, 9, and this 9 eliminates that possibility for being a 9. Therefore, this is 3 out of 4 of these are odd to be a strict majority, and one of them's even, which forces this to be odd. 9 cannot be on here then. Well, 9 could be here. So 9 cannot be here. 9 is basically in column 1, has to be here or this one, right? One of these is even. We're not sure which. 7 obviously can't be here. 7 could be any of these 3, actually. So I guess it could be 9 here. So we don't have a guarantee. This can't be 7, and it cannot be 9. So then this can never be odd, because if this were odd, 7 and 9 are both eliminated, because one of these 3 must be 7, one of these 3 must be 9. And so this can't be 7 or 9. If this were 5, the problem is you would have 3 and 1 less in it, and 1 we know has to be one of these 2. So this has to be an even, which forces this to be 3 odd digits here. Therefore, that could be 9. It could be 9 or 7 here. 1 is one of these 2. 3, where's 3? 3 can be one of these 3, but it can't be here. So 3 has to be one of these 2. Right, 3 cannot be here. 3 is one of these 2. 5 also, then. So this can't be 7 anymore. We know 7's one of these 2, so this can't be 9. So 5 could be any of these 2. So this is 1 with an even digit. 3 could be here. This is 7 or 9. This has to then be 5 or 7, and this is 3 or 5, but it can't be 5. So this must be 3 then. This cannot be 3. Where is the odd digits now? All 4 of these must be odd. And this must be 3, 5, 7, and 9. Because 3 can no longer be here. This is, therefore, the 3 has to be here to make sure that's strictly increasing from the odd digits for here. Therefore, this can't be 9. This is an even digit. 7 cannot be here. 5 cannot be either of these. Therefore, one of these 2 is a 5, which eliminates 5 from the rest of the row. This 3 means this can't be 3, so this is 7, which means this can't be 7. This is a 1, 3, 5 triplet, which eliminates 1, 3, and 5 in the rest of the box. Therefore, this is a 7. This is 3. This is 2 evens and 1 odd. This is even, because it cannot be the 1. We don't know where the other even is, though. We have, well, if this were 9, that would force this to be 7, but this is only 7 or 9 here. And so if this were 9, that would force this to be 7. Therefore, that would not be a possibility to have for any digit. So this cannot be 9. Where is the 9 in box 6? It must be here. So this is 9, which means 9 cannot be here. 9 cannot be here. Where is the 9? Well, 9 could be here or here, but 9 cannot specifically be here because this has to be smaller than 2 other digits. Where's 7 actually in box 5? It has to be one of these 3 digits. 3 and 5 cannot be here. 3 can't be here. Where's 3? 3 has to be along this even cell, which eliminates any other odd digit because we have to have 3 even digits in a 4-length even thermometer. So this can't be 9, this can't be 7. Where is the 7? It must be here. Where's the 9? It must be here, which means this can't be 9. This is 9 and odd. This is odd. This is odd. 9 cannot be less than any other odd digit, so this must be an even digit. This must be then odd. 3 out of these 4 digits on the Kirkwood's thermometer must be even, so this cannot be even because we have 4 even digits in the box. So this is this has to be 1 because it has to be greater. It has to be less than 9. It cannot be 3, 5, or 7. So 1 cannot be here. Therefore, this is even. This is even. This must be odd and a 1. 3 is one of these 3. This is an even digit. This can't be 1 here. We have 5 odd digits in column 5, which eliminates odd digits in the rest of the column. Therefore, this is even. These 2 are even. Since this is even, these 3 digits must be odd. Well, we have 5 odd digits in column 4 now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the rest must be even. This can't be odd. This is even. This is even. Where's the 3 in box 5? It has to be here. So this is odd. This must be even then. This is odd. This is odd, and it's a 5, which forces this to be 7, which forces that to be 9. The 3 cannot be here. Where is the... This can't be 3. Where is the 3 in box 8? It has to be here. So this is 3. This has to be at least... This has to be 5, because it has to be less than this digit. And this is 7 or 9 here. We have... This must be even. We have now 4 evens in box 4, so this must be odd. And it must be a 5. Because 7 is one of these 2. This is a 1-5 pair because this cannot be 9. This is 2, 4, 6, which means this has to be 4, 6, or 8. This cannot be 1 or 5 because of the 1-5 pair in the box. Cannot be 9 or 7 because of the 9 and 7 in the row. So this is 3. This must be 6 or 8. This must be 4 or 6, and this is 2 or 4. Because it's strictly increasing here. This must be 6 or 8. This is 4 or 6. We have a 6, 8, 6, 8 pair in row 5, which eliminates 6 and 8 from the rest of the row. Therefore, this is 2 or 4. This is 2 or 4. We have a 2, 4, 2, 4 pair now in box 5, which eliminates 2 and 4 in the rest of the box. This can't be 4. This is 6, which makes that 8. Therefore, this is 6 and this is 4. The reason why we know this is 6 or 8 is we have two other unique digits, even digits, which must be smaller than it. Therefore, this is 4. One of these then must be 2. Therefore, this can't be 2. This can't be 4 or 6. This must be 8. This must be 4 or 6 then. This can't be 8, so this can't be 6. We have a 4, 6, 4, 6 pair in row 1, which eliminates 4 and 6 in the rest of the row. Therefore, this is 2, which means this can't be 2. This is greater than that digit, so this can't be 4. This is 4, 6, and 8 here. This must be 2 or 8 here. This must be, this 6 eliminates 6 from being here. This is only 2 or 4, because it has to have two other even digits greater than it. This could be 4, 6, or 8. We're not sure which. We have a 6, 8, 6, 8 pair in column 4. This is 2, 4, 8 here. This is 2, 4, or 8 here. This is 2 or 8 with the 7 here. 6 must be one of these two. 2 has to be one of these two digits in column 5. This 5 eliminates this 5, so this is 3. That makes this 1, which makes that 5. We have a 1, 3, 5 triplet in row 2, which eliminates 1, 3, and 5 in the rest of the row. This must be then 4, 6, 8, and 9. This is 4, 6, or 8. We're not sure which. This is 4, 6, or 8. 2 has to be one of these two. So it must be 2 with 1 or 5. This must be 2, 4, 6, and 8. 2 has to be one of these two. 4, 6, and 8. 8 has to be one of these three. This cannot be 8 here, so 8's one of these two. 7 is one of these two digits, because it cannot be here, and it cannot be here. If this were even, it would have to be a 2. But 2 has to be greater than two other even digits, which is not allowed. So this must be an odd digit, which means these three are even digits. We have 4 even digits now in row 9, which eliminates even digits in the rest of the row. Therefore, these are all odd. This is the smallest of these digits, these 3 digits, and this can never be 2. So this must be a 2 here, which means this can't be 2. This has to be the largest of these 3 digits, and 8 cannot be here, so this must be 8. So this is 8. Neither of these can be 8 anymore. This is 3, 5, and 7 or 9. This is 4 or 6 here. We have 4 even digits in box 8, so this must be an odd digit, and this must be a 1. 1 cannot be here, 1 cannot be here. We have a 6, 8, 6, 8 pair in row 8, which eliminates 6 and 8 from the rest of the row. Therefore, this is not 8, it's 4, which makes that an 8, which makes that 6, which makes that 4, which makes that a 2. 8 cannot be here. This 4 and 6 eliminates 4 and 6 here, so this is 8, which means this can't be 8. We have a 2, 4, 2, 4 pair now in row 6, which eliminates 2 and 4 in the rest of the row. This can't be 2. This must be 7 and is odd. This must be 8 and is even, which makes this a 2. This has to be a 6, 8 pair. This can't be 8 because of that 8, so this is 6, which makes that an 8. This can no longer be 6 here. remaining digits here are 2, 4, and 9. But it can't be 4 because of that 4. We have one even digit left. It cannot be 4. This can't be 2 because one of these must be 2. And it can't be 4, 6. Therefore, this is odd. We now have 5 odd digits in column 8, which eliminates odd digits in the rest of the column. Therefore, this is even. This is odd. This must be a 2. And this cannot be 2. It's 1 or 5. One of these digits is even. We're not sure which. 5 has to be one of these two digits, so 5 must be 1. 5 has to be one of these 3 digits here. This can't be 5. This can't be 5. Where's the 5 in column 8? It has to be here. Therefore, the only possibility for 9 now in column 8 is here. And this is 1 or 3, but it can't be 3. This must be 1, which makes that 3, which makes that 5, which makes that 1. Therefore, that's a 5. This is 1. We have 5 odd digits in row 7. That leaves even digits remaining. So this is even, this is even. We have 4 odd even digits in column 9, so this must be odd. We have 4 even digits in row 8, which means this must be odd because it cannot be even. This is a 2. This can no longer be 2. This has to be a 9 then. So this is 9, which makes that a 4, which makes that 2, 4, 2, 4. This is even. That 4 eliminates this 4, so this is 6, which makes that 4, which makes that 6, which makes that 4, which makes that a 6. This can't be 4 or 6, so this is 9 and is odd. This must be 2 as the last remaining even digit in the column. This 9 eliminates that 9, so this is 7. This has to be 1. This can't be 4 or 6 because that's 4 or 6, so this is 8, which makes that 6, which makes that 4, which makes that 6, which makes that 8. And we have just 3 and 7 remaining. So this is 3, and this is 7. And that's the puzzle. Yeah, I like these odd and even thermometers. It's definitely a very interesting restriction nowadays. And it's quite enjoyable, actually, for me. Yeah, in general, I think just different variations make things a little bit more interesting. And having the odd digits be essentially, well, it also allows me to color, which I really enjoy. So I do like these odd and even thermometers restrictions. Anyways, hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.